So, on Saturday, August the 1st, 2020, Eddie Hearn, also known as Shake Your Money, is putting on Fight Camp, a series of fight cards throughout the month of August. The venue is the garden of Matchroom HQ, Eddie's childhood home, and from what I've seen, it looks the bollocks. And fair play, the fights lined up are very, very good. Looking at the venue, I'm sure it will get the fighters pumped up. For me, watching fights in a studio or an empty arena is just soul destroying. Now, when you're watching boxing, you want to be entertained. You want to feel part of something. I can't see we're going to get back to 80,000 at Wembley singing Sweet Caroline for a long time yet. So to me, this is a great idea. Eddie's got all the precautions in place, all the testing, and you know what? It looks like an event. It doesn't look like the Top Rank and BT stuff we've been viewing. It looks like it's an event and something I'll be sitting in front of the TV for. Just spoke to Tony Borg, whose fighter Gavin Gwynn is on the first bill. He says that the place resembles something out of a science fiction movie, but it does look absolutely amazing. So looking forward, there might be no people at all for a good while or very sparse and restricted crowds. So you're not going to get that money coming through the gate. So you have to create an event. You have to create something that's going to grab the viewing public. Now look at the UFC. You may like MMA, you may not, but they are providing consistently good cards. Now, nowhere in my lifetime would I ever pay $70, 60 odd quid to watch a pay-per-view event. That's daylight robbery. But it's a lot cheaper here, and yes, I would pay for it. And I'd pay for a Matchroom card because I've had enough of sitting through one boring, one-sided fight after another, just waiting for the main event, falling asleep. If boxing was to provide solid cards, 50-50 fights, that's what the fans want. Not all this rubbish that they do, fighters protecting their O's and all of this stuff and just building up a resume and all of this stuff. It's a load of rubbish. Look, for example, right, we'll wave a magic wand. Put on a card like Lomachenko versus Lopez, Garcia versus Campbell, and Virgil Ortiz versus Thurman. And an undercard of great 50-50 fights. The viewing figures would go through the roof. And people will say, oh, you can't do these fights because of this, because of that, because of this load of politics, because of this organisation, that organisation. It's a load of bollocks. Because what you will do, you will start turning people away from the sport. Because the casual fans, and I don't use that as a derogatory term, will go and do something else. They'll start following UFC, right? Because people are getting fed up with all the politics, all the bollocks that surrounds boxing. People want to be entertained. How many boxing matches can you name over the last 20 years that have fallen by the wayside? Because of this load of politics, because of that load of politics, because you can't get the two fighters to agree, and it all falls into the gutter. Over and over and over again. And eventually, boxing will shoot itself in the foot because other things will come in and take over. Yep, you'll still have the diehard fans, but we need the casuals. And again, I don't use that as a derogatory term. We need the casual fans. We need this sport to go forward. Look at all the politics. And franchise belts, diamond belts, interim champs, silver champion, IBO, WBO, WBC, WBA. How about an IBS belt? Because that's what this crap gives most fans. The best should fight the best. No politics. Boxing has to change the way it operates. Boxing won't ever die, but something has to change. The bull has to go. And the way boxing markets itself, because it's not the 1920s, it's not the 1960s, it's not the 1990s, it's 2020. And you need to change the way you operate. Now, I'll probably get shot for mentioning this again, but look at the UFC. Look how far they've come in the last 20 years. This is an organisation that at one point was dying on its feet. They couldn't sell tickets for a raffle. In comes Dana White and changes everything. He knows how to market stuff. He knows how to market a combat sport. And look what he's doing. And this is why I think Eddie Hearn could well be the man to take boxing forward. Yes, before anybody says anything, I know he's a promoter and he's got a product to sell, but I can honestly say 9 times out of 10 over the last 10 years, I've enjoyed Matchroom cards the most. And I've been entertained by Matchroom cards. And Eddie is the only man looking at new ideas, looking to grow and expand the sport, instead of being stuck in a time warp. Personally, I think Eddie Hearn loves the sport of boxing. Alright, and that could be an unpopular opinion, I don't know. But I want the sport to go forward. I want the sport to expand. Because I love the sport of boxing. And I don't care if it's Eddie Hearn, the King of Siam. I don't give a monkeys. Let's just cut out the politics and put on the fights that people want to see. 50-50 fights, great cards, and let's put all the bullshit to one side, because it will kill the sport eventually. So on Saturday night I will be watching. I will be sitting in front of the screen. I hope it's a great success. I think it's the way to take boxing forward, especially in the current climate. So I'd like to hear your opinions. Just drop your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay well.